Hello everybody, this is the introverted comedian and we're here to play Conan Exiles on the island of Siptah. I haven't played it in a while, to be honest, so I'm going to create myself a new character. Usually I go for the set religion and a few other settings, but these are not so important, to be honest. So now we have a new update, Age of War, the second chapter, which has some purges that you can summon, but these are not so important in the beginning. I'll make a video about that at some point, but for the moment it's best if you can see the first hour of play and a few tips and tricks meanwhile. Okay, so when it comes to location, I'm usually going for the northwest part, because that's where I usually have my camp, my main base made. And here we go. So while the screen is loading, I just want to tell you that I'm not going to give you some really important tips. It's just doing some first journey steps, showing you how to quickly do them, and then set up your camp so you can actually start playing the game. It's quite useful to be here in this area when you begin, because you find lots of crates, lots of bodies, and they all have some resources which you'd struggle a little bit in the first few minutes to get. So that's why usually I go for the corpses for every crate or chest that I can find. I loot them and then I start creating what I need. As you can see, it's quite simple to follow the steps. You can actually do some of them just by collecting things from the crates or from the chests. The area is safe, so you don't need to worry for the moment. There's nothing you need to fight, there's nothing to come after you. Yeah, so it's important at the beginning to pick yourself up some branches. This way you can actually make yourself some tools. And as you will see, or as you already know, they are quite important in this game. The better the tools, the faster you can collect things, and the better you can develop yourself and your base. Okay, so now that I have 5 branches, I'm going to make an axe, because this way you can actually collect branches a lot faster. As you can see, I am now picking a lot of them up just by smacking my axe at them. My advice is get yourself some branches in the beginning, along with some wood, some stone, and some fiber plant. Yeah, usually I start doing the expertise when I need to spend the attribute points, because there are a few perks that are quite useful, so you could level up faster. meaning that you can actually get the resources a lot faster once you get like 3 levels up into the expertise, which is the highest I ever go. Okay, so now we have to craft the bedroll. I think I already have the materials for that. The issue is this area is not available to build that bedroll on, to place it, so I need to go just around here. Okay, now I can pick it up, as I'll need it for later anyway. And I can start going my own way. As soon as I pick up whatever the journey steps ask me to. You can actually follow the steps if you want to and manually gather them. I'm playing on PS4, so you can actually gather them by pressing the square button. But honestly, it's not worth it, so I'm going to make myself a pickaxe. It was in the steps anyway. As you can see now, I can actually gather the stone a lot faster. Now here we have a very interesting camp just in front of us. Let me unlock some of the things that I'll need later. And when you unlock some of these things, you actually unlock some journey steps. Not all of them are so important, to be honest, but some of them will prove quite useful later. So we have ourselves some armor, we have ourselves food, water. Now we just need a shield and a weapon. And I'm going to make them right now. Okay, so I went for the sword. I missed a little bit in there. I wanted to go for expertise, so I got it on grit, but never mind, I'll fix it later. I need the grit anyway. So, as I was saying, this is one of the best camps to loot in the beginning. I'm not going to do it now because it's a little bit hard. I'm going to do it later. First I'm going to follow a few more steps. And we have these birds here that will help us level up in the beginning. Okay, so we're going to need to do the wraps. It's easy to do them, you just need some fiber, some plant fiber, and a tool to get some of the resources from the bird. As we all know, we will need meat later. So, we've got a few more in here. I needed to take some damage so I can actually use the wraps to heal myself, otherwise I couldn't use them. Okay, now I have the first level of expertise, which will allow me to collect resources a lot better. Not to mention, it helps a lot because you can actually carry more, and if there's something you need in the beginning is to actually carry a lot, because you will need the resources. Okay, let's kill a few more birds so we can level up. These are quite easy to kill, you just need to step a little bit on the side as soon as they start attacking you, and then you just need to quickly use your weapon to kill them. So I'm doing another journey step now, warrior one, and I just got caught in the middle of this bird's direction. He was looking to walk around and I just happened to be in front of him. Now I'm going to do the next steps. As I was saying earlier, it's not that important to do these steps because you can do them anytime you wish, but to be honest, I want to get rid of them, and sometimes you can get some useful resources from them, so you can try doing them. This one, the warrior one, is not so important to be honest, but I'm doing it just to get some experience for later. Basically, the first goal is to get to level 10, and then I can actually start building things and level up properly. Okay, so we have the warrior journey completed. We unlocked a few more journeys. The soldier one is too early to do it, and honestly the reward is not worth it. So I'm going to do the archer one. This one is not so bad because you actually need the hide, which I'm going to grab from this deer quite soon. Yeah, so sometimes I forget that I already did some things and I just start doing something else. Sorry about that, but like I said, this is the first hour. I'm trying to rush to do as many things as possible. So we've got the deer, we've got some more points to spend, and also we got to level up quite a bit. Usually when I am doing the knowledge points, when I'm starting to use them, I'm having a look around because it's best to see what options I have, unless I already have a main goal and I just kept the points for later. Okay, as you can see, after doing the archer journey steps, we got ourselves some better arrows, the iron arrows, which are quite useful if you aim them properly, not like I just did there. As you can see, if the deer starts running, you won't catch it. My advice in the beginning, if you need to hunt them, especially with the bow, get as close as possible, power shot the bow, then aim straight for their head, and as you can see, they just simply fall down. Get the hide, get the meat, and then go to your next target. And again, I missed targeting the head, so I ended up losing my prey. Now we have a few more birds around here, which are worth killing because in the beginning you can level up quite fast. I am playing on civilized settings, so it's just to enjoy the game and just to build things. Now we are close to reaching the area where I actually want to build my camp. I'm just going to do the next journey steps by placing the fire. Oh, as you can see, it's next to the Violet Isle. The reason why I'm choosing this location, because you actually have a good camp for trials in there, you have another camp in there, and you have plenty of resources around you, especially you have the vaults here. You have the vault of the Jill and vault of the Harpy, quite close, and you have some gold and silver resources this way. Also, you have a lot of rock noses around this area, and you can get yourself quite a lot of experience. The same comes with crocodiles, because in the beginning that's what you should hunt. Rock noses are for when you get like steel, perfected steel weapons. Okay, so I'm just going to do the steps by cooking some of the meat. I need something to feed myself anyway, otherwise my hunger level will increase too fast. Okay, now we can get these supplies are actually quite important, the first ones, because they give you plenty of resources you can use. And when I say plenty of resources, usually they give you like 500 plants, which collecting by hand is quite annoying. Unless you have a sickle, getting plants is really annoying. Okay, so now it's time to start building a little bit. We already unlocked the knowledge for building. I'm just going to chop up some wood, because I'm going to do some stone building, and for that we're going to need both wood and stone. I already have the stone from the supplies I got earlier. I just built myself the construction hammer. Before you needed to actually do everything in your inventory, but now it's quite useful because the construction hammer is doing a lot for you. You just need to have the resources in your inventory and you can place whatever you need with it. Okay, so quickly chop up some wood before beginning to build. I'll get myself a torch because you need to see a little bit. At some point it gets quite dark, usually around midnight in the game. It's way too dark. Okay, so now I'm going to find the perfect place, let's say, for building my base. So I'm going to try to place the foundations. When I start, I usually go by 5x5 foundations. You can go with 5 foundations on the sides. You can build all 25 foundations if you want. Honestly, if you go with like 5 foundations and then start adding ceilings in the middle, you will actually save some resources. I'm not going to do that now, but that's one of the things that I usually do when I get to tier 3 of building, because that's when you need to save those resources. Now I can just grab some stone quickly, but when you get to that level and you need hardened bricks and anything else, you will see that it's quite difficult to get them. Okay, get some more stone. The reason why I'm pausing is because I don't really like to talk that much, so I'll just give you details whenever you actually need them. Aside from that, I'll just let you watch or just skip until the next phase. Yeah, as you can see, usually I'm smashing stones that are next to each other, because if they're close to each other you can get like 2 or 3 times the resources in just one go. You don't need to go like I'm doing it now for each one separately. So basically this area, it's quite good because there are a lot of rocks that come like that, the 2 of them next to each other, 3 of them next to each other, and that means you can get the resources from all of them just by swinging your pick one time. Okay, so we can unlock the iron tools now, which will be very useful, and few other things. I am now aiming to get an animal pen, because usually when you're getting yourself a follower, and animals are quite easy to get usually, you can actually carry a lot more. So you can just make yourself a proper tool, get your follower to come with you, and then you just go straight after the resources you need. It's quite useful if you have iron, for example. Is not so close to where my base is, so I need to go a little bit further. Okay, so I'm just trying to find exactly where I'm going to place the rest of the buildings. Now I'm just gonna place a furnace. I'll leave that iron in here because I'll need it later. In fact, I'll leave everything in there because I don't need them right now. The main thing that I need now is iron and coal. I'll try to do the steps, and as you can see, you have a little bit of iron around this area, but it's not that much, to be honest. It's mostly stones. You have some coal around here, but now I'm just going straight for the iron. So I just go a little bit around the lake. Okay, we have some emotes that you can learn here. Okay, and there we go. Around here we'll get some iron. You really don't want to go uphill because there's a rock nose waiting there, and honestly, with the armor and weapons that I have now, it will probably take a long time to actually kill it, or probably not kill it at all. So there's no point in doing that. Main goal now is get as much iron as possible, melt it, of course get some coal meanwhile, because you need it, and then start making myself some iron tools. Because once, you'll see when I get those, unless you've already played before, as soon as you get better tools, you can actually start collecting a lot more resources, and once you get tool improvements, then you're actually doing even better. Okay, it's time to fix that pick. I'll try to get myself up here, because that's where I need to go to get myself more iron. Hopefully I'm going to make it all the way to the top. And no, we just slipped, but no worries. If you just go around a little bit to this way, this edge will be a lot easier to climb. So now we're very close to the Harpy Vault. We don't need to go there, and we're really not well to go there. I'm just here to get my iron and then run back to base. Still, I need a lot of iron. Fortunately for me, since I'm investing my points in since I'm doing the iron run and there's a lot of rocks, well, better said stone pieces that are next to each other, I'm going to pick those as well because I will need them later anyway. Don't forget to drink and eat, as you will need that. Okay, so we're going around this area. There's plenty of iron around here. Just don't go in that direction where you see that, as there's a few harpies already waiting for you, and at this level with this equipment you're dead for sure. Just grab what you need and then head back. Lucky for me, and as I'm looking for iron, this area is peaceful. There's nothing here to attack you unless you go close to the vault, as I said earlier, or unless you go too far close to the bridge, which I'm going to show you in a few minutes. Since we got some coal, we can harvest that as well. Fortunately, with this pickaxe we're not getting that much, but there we go. We have the level 10 in expertise, which means that when we do the last picking, the last hit, we're getting double the resources. That's actually proving to be quite useful at some point, because you end up with a lot more resources than you normally would. So I'm going to look around for some iron. There's not that many iron stones around here, to be honest. It is enough for you to get started, and then when they respawn you can actually have the iron tools or battle tools ready, and when you're doing an iron run you can actually get yourself proper resources from here. I forgot to fix it in time, but no worries, we can fix it. You just need some stone and that's it. Yeah, so again we're getting close to the way to the vault. You will see there's quite a few deposits of iron around here, which is quite useful. You don't have to go too far to get that much. Yeah, so as you can see, my carrying capacity is starting to get red, which means pretty soon I won't be able to carry that much, so I'm at 77%. 6% now. I'll just go straight for the iron deposits. There are a couple more around here. And it's a waste to not pick up as much as possible if you still have the carrying capacity. Sometimes I'd rather choose drop some stones if I need that much iron and get the iron. In the beginning you need them all, so it's better if you just collect as much as possible around this area and then go straight to your base. Okay, so we're doing well. We still have some capacity left, some carrying capacity, which is good. We can get ourselves some extra iron. My initial aim was to get at least 500, and we actually got it. And we have plenty of stones. Not to mention, just gathering, you can actually get your raise your level. You get plenty of experience. As you can see, we have the rock nose around here. There's another one here with the black hand camp. There's another one over there, and there are also some island lynxes. And we're just getting close to our main base. If you need some fur or some meat, there's a mountain goat around here, so you can just come kill it whenever you feel like it. Get yourself some fur or whatever you need and just use it later. Okay, now we're back. We'll build ourselves a second furnace, because you'll actually need these in the beginning when you don't have resources, and smelting is not going that fast, to be honest, so you will have to push a little bit for it. So the best thing you can do is just split the iron into, split those coals into, get each of them in one of the furnaces, and then while it's smelting, as you can see, you have the iron bars, but you will need a lot more. You actually need 50 of them to build the blacksmith. So before that, you can just go around, gather some resources, build a few more things. I'll just finish up as much as possible of my base over here. Yeah, unfortunately sometimes the game is not allowing us to do things as quickly as we want. There are some bugs from time to time. You just need to try it a few more times. Okay, I'll just swap my journey steps because now I'm ready to build the walls. And I'm placing the walls on the corners. We'll need some doors, and yeah, usually I'm placing 3 doors here on the middle, and on the last side I'm going to place only walls. Okay, so we need a ceiling as well. I'm building 2 walls up, 2 walls high, because I found this quite useful. Some things don't fit in, or some things are just too low. If you're playing like I'm playing on a single player, then you don't need to save that much space. Yeah, so I build a door. I'm just taking the ropes back because I need them for later. That twine is valuable in the beginning. Okay, so we need to build ourselves a wooden box. For that, I already have the twine. I just need some more wood. Basically what I'm doing now is taking advantage of the time I need to smelt things, and while the furnaces are doing their job, I'm just trying to complete some of the journey steps and whatever else I can do. Don't forget to place your bedroll or bed or whatever you have available, because you will need it as a spawn point. So as you can see, it's actually showing up on the map. Okay, so we're close to finally building the blacksmith. Let's see, and now we have enough resources to build it. Best I can do is place it between the furnaces, because I will need to get the resources from there. At this moment there's not so much iron, or iron bars to be more specific, but later when you get like 1000 or maybe more iron bars, it will be too heavy to carry around for a long distance. Okay, so I'm doing the blacksmith challenge now, the journey steps. I'm going to make myself an iron pick, getting the iron from the furnaces, because I'll need other things done as well. I'm just going to throw away the stone pick, I don't need that one anymore. And as you can see, we don't get much of a reward from doing the blacksmith journey, but any reward is good, I guess, in the beginning. Yeah, so we'll need to build ourselves a bigger cooking space. So I'll just place this in the corner down here, trying to save as much space as possible. So I'm going really close to the edges. So we have the large campfire. We can actually use it to store some of the things, so that makes it easier for later. And you just keep whatever is essential on yourself and your inventory. Okay, let's see what else we can get. So we need to actually harvest trees faster, and next we need to see when we can unlock the skinning knife, because you will need it both for some journey steps and also for getting your hide a lot faster. Just like I did with the pickaxe, I'm going to replace the stone hatchet with the iron hatchet. And it looks like we need more wood for many other things. So we'll just go chop up more wood. So as you can see now, we're actually getting better resources. Not by much, but in time you will see the difference. Especially with that perk that we're getting from the expertise leveling, you can actually gather a lot faster and a lot better. Okay, it's time to get ourselves some bark. I'm going to build a tannery. We will need it to get better armor later. I'm usually aiming for around 100 pieces of bark. And that is because you need like 50 of them for making the actual building, or better said, tannery table, or well, it's a tannery to be honest, but tannery table is something else. You will see in just a bit. So I'll get myself some more wood, I'll need it anyway, and it's time to go back. And let's see, you have the we just have the tanner journey steps here. We need to skin our corpse. The best way to do it is to get ourselves the weapon and the shield ready. Should be a bird around here, and there we go. Oopsie, we missed it. So 1, 2, 3, and you're down. Use the skinning knife, and there we go. If you want, you can keep those feathers for later. They'll be useful when making arrows. It's a little bit tricky sometimes to get the resources or skin something, even if you're next to them, as you've just seen. Okay, so next step is to cook that meat and leave some of the things that I'm not using for the moment in here. And now we're building the tannery. I like to build this tannery outside my building because I honestly don't have that much space inside. I don't want to use all that space. I'm just trying to find the perfect place for it, because I will need to use a lot of this space later. So there we go. Now with the rest of the bark, we leave it in there. We use it as fuel for the tannery. We're just going to get our hide back, and there we go. Meanwhile, we've got more iron ready, so let's see what else we can make. Okay, so usually I go for the war axe. As you can see, I have a DLC and I can get myself the Pictish war axe. Now we need a tanner stable. This one is quite useful when it comes to getting yourself more twine. As you can see, you just place the plants in there and you just give it the command to process everything into twine, which you will need at least for a while. So we unlocked ourselves an improved tanner stable, but its costs are way too high, so I'm not using it. We also have a new weapon, better weapon for damage. And let's see what else do we need. We'll need an armorer stable. And we need some twine. As I was saying, twine will be quite useful later. Let me see if that's enough, and that's enough to get the armorer's table as well. I'll try to place it as close as possible to the tannery and the tanner's table, because that's where I'm getting my main resources from. I'll check to see what I need for shields and for the next armor. Okay, now we can go on the armorer journey steps. We finished smelting all the iron. As you can see, now we have a sickle. We finally have a sickle. So if you need plants now, you can actually harvest them quite fast. I'll just drop that leather in there. Okay, the reason why I was saving that hide was so I can later make some light padding. Okay, so I'm going to leave those in there. And I'm going hunting for some more hide. Now that I have an iron weapon, I don't need to use my bow anymore. I could, but as you've seen earlier, you don't always get the kill. But now, with a few hard chops from your war axe, you can get the animal you wanted easier. Now, if there's a few animals like these that don't attack you, like deer, the others will run, so you will only get one. But they tend to keep some distance from each other, so most of the time you can get one here, you run a little bit around, find another one, then you run a little bit around and find another one that's waiting for you. Okay, now that we have some more hide, we can go back and do the next step in the armorer journey, which is access or place the armorer's bench. We already have the bench, so we're just going to access it. We're going to leave all that hide in there. And you want to go down and see what exactly you need for light padding. So I'm going to craft one. I'm going to craft the light turban. Usually I don't like light armor, so I'm not keeping it, I'm just doing it for the journey step. Okay, you can take... no, I took all that hide, which is not good. So you still need some of it. And that's it. We have 15 hide, enough to make the light turban. The rest of it I just want to turn into leather, because that's what you need for the medium armor. And that's my first aim when it comes to armor. So we've done the armorer journey steps. And it's time to see what we need for the rest of it. We have some attribute points, we can invest them in what we need. We also have some knowledge points, but not enough, or we don't have the level that we need for what I need. Okay, so I'm just gonna move things that can be used later in the armorer's bench. This one is producing leather. We have quite a few bars of iron, which is okay. So I'll just leave this meat to cook and I'll be on my way. So since we have a better weapon, we can just start killing around a few birds to get ourselves the necessary experience to go to the next level. Basically, what I need now is to unlock the iron skinning knife, so it's not many that we need to kill. Now, you don't want to go higher than that, at least not for the moment, because there's some lynxes in there. But if you go back this way, you will have a few easy victims, to be honest. So there we go, we have a deer, and he's down. Let's get the hide we need from him. And why not, the flesh is good as well for later. There we go, we have another deer. Let's skin the little guy. Okay, now unfortunately these birds that are around here, they don't drop any hides, so it's a little bit annoying, but after all they're birds, so they don't have hide. I'm just going to kill them for the XP experience. So as I was saying earlier, you can just make them attack you, make them follow you, let them attack wide open, and as you can see, you can just go sneak on them and just take them down. Now this is one of the best camps you can raid. I'll try to see if I can... There are plenty of resources here and you actually want to raid it. It's quite useful. In the beginning, when you're not so leveled up, it's best if you can just get these guys to follow you one by one. And as you can see, he is already down. You can get yourself a few nice things. See, we already have some iron reinforcements, which is actually quite annoying. But one of the good things about this camp is that when you're killing other humans, you can actually kill them for hide. Okay, so we took this guy down as well. I'm going to give this guy a chance to attack me, so I can actually parry his attack. Let's see if we have anything useful on them. And we got ourselves some nice iron reinforcements. One of the reasons why I like this camp a lot is because you can actually get yourself nice resources in the beginning of the game. You can see you have thick leather, you have some nice potions here, you have some steel bars. Now you can pick these guys one by one, or you can just go at them. My advice is try to get them one by one in the beginning. As you can see, I have no armor at all at the moment, so it's going to be quite hard taking them on. Okay, now this is a mini boss. He will be quite hard, or she will be quite hard to get in the beginning. So you just need to dodge around for a little bit, you just need to make sure you're not getting killed. And as soon as you kill them, you can actually get yourself some pieces of medium armor and some good resources. Okay, so now we have some medium armor on without having to actually make it ourselves, craft it ourselves. Some sorcerers around here. You can actually find iron bars on them. Again, you need to make sure that after you kill one, you step back a little bit, as they're very close to each other and another one will attack you, and you need to be ready. At least when you're this level. Later on, you can just smash through them. Okay, now that's a dead archer. He was getting ready to kill us, but he didn't have the chance to. We have another fighter around here. And as you can see, they can have some interesting drops. Now this is one of the good things. You have the supplies in there which are quite good, and some tools. You have some steel spear in here. It's not spawning all the time, but usually it is, so it's quite useful. I'm just going to rob the camp. I'm just going to loot everything I need. Okay, as you can see, you can find pickaxes, you can find plenty of useful things, and this is one of the things that I want. This axe, this battle axe, the Cimmerian battle axe, as you can see, it's doing quite a lot of damage because it's a steel weapon compared to my Pictish war axe is doing a lot more damage. So this is one of the reasons why I like to build my main camp around here. Okay, now as you can see, my health didn't drop that much, but it's not so good. You can find yourself also a lot of golem pieces in here if you need them. So it's a very good farm for golem pieces. Again, you can also find other weapons, like this Falcata for example, but I don't really like swords that much, so I'm not taking it. You can learn the wrecker knowledge from here. It's not doing much, but it is better than nothing. As you can see, we have the wreckage and basically not much. So it's time to finish looting. As you can see, you can also find some gold bars, sometimes there's silver bars, sometimes there's coins, sometimes there's some shield, other times you get legendary shields. So we've got ourselves some pretty nice resources from here. Let's kill this last exile, see if they're giving us anything good. Now we have some dogs around here if you want to. They will give you some more experience. Okay, and as you go this way, you will find some crocodiles. It's some baby crocodiles, and if you go up on the left, you will actually encounter 3 more exiles. Now I'm just going to get myself a baby crocodile. So if you want, you can actually fight the crocodiles around here, or you can just quickly go, snatch it, and start running. I'm just going to kill this one just to test. As you can see, because I had the Cimmerian battle axe, I was able to actually war axe. I was able to actually get to kill it faster. So this is the end of our first video of my first tower. Now I'm just heading back, build an animal shelter for the baby croc, so I can actually use it in battle or just to carry things. Until next time, this was the Introverted Comedian, and I hope you enjoyed my video.